Teaching Tips Thursday. Hope it's nice where you are. And I've got Josh recording me today. Before we start the teaching tip, bear with me. I went to eat today, and the restaurant where I was has this little section that has novelties and stuff like that. And I found this corn on the cob, but it's popcorn on the cob. And I thought, well, that's an experience. We should try that. I've never done this before. This is a live experiment. We have no idea what will happen actually with this. And so I'm going to open it up, hopefully. There we go. We lost some popcorn. So look at that. I don't know if any of you have experimented with popcorn on the cob, but that's pretty nifty. And you're supposed to take this bag, put it in like so. I'm nervous about this actually. Josh is taking steps backwards. I'm not sure what that means. Do we have viewers, Josh?
We do. We got 14 viewers. Hello, Desiree. Hello, Tabby A. Aniston. Julia. Laura. Summer. Jess. Lindsay. Thanks for joining us today. This popcorn experiment.
All right, so we put it on for 2 minutes, and we start it. Now, popcorn, I don't know if you know this, but there's 6 different varieties of popcorn. It takes 8 to 10 months, of corn. Popcorn is one of the corns. It's a maize. It doesn't work with sweet corn or field corn or any other type of corn. It takes 8 to 10 months to dry out. If you plant sweet corn and popcorn together, you actually will get popcorn that doesn't pop as well because of cross-pollination, the whole birds, bees things, which is a whole nother subject we can address on another day. But here's what's happening right now is it's in the microwave. Every popcorn has the hull, that's the part we see. Inside of it is starch. Then there's a little embryo in the popcorn kernel and a little water droplet. But when we put this popcorn in the microwave, it's starting to pop. Well, what happens is that water droplet, the steam begins to expand and it blows up and turns the starch into what we eat the popcorn. So that's what's happening right now in the microwave. It sounds kind of violent. Wow, that's pretty neat. All right, because it's going to blow out the microwave, I'm going to... That is cool. Kind of hot. But, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, that's what...
It works.
It works, yeah. And it actually tastes like popcorn. I'm the Guy Fieri of popcorn today. That's good. Awesome. Well, thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. Everybody enjoy your teaching tip today. Get some popcorn of your own ready.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So, isn't that awesome to have the popcorn on the cob? I've never seen anything like that. And I thought, man, what a cool experience to actually do that. And while I did it, I started researching that. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Okay, so for the teaching tip, what I just did was I showed you something that I think sometimes in homeschooling, we make ourselves small as homeschoolers, right? How many times have you said, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, whereas homeschooling, we almost feel like our world is small and limited, and we're almost like, we're just kind of closed, like we're not as bold and adventurous as we are. Now, as a homeschool mom, if I can encourage you, you are an adventurer. One of the key ingredients to growing your students is to give them exposure to new ideas and experiences. I went to eat at a restaurant today. Now, just eating out is an experience that we can take our kids, if we do it from the standpoint of, I'm giving you a new experience, I'm giving you a new adventure, because what I'm going to do in that is we're going to expand our knowledge, right? I've always been amazed when we would take our kids places over the years. we would go on a vacation, or we would send them someplace for a day. And when they would come back, I'd always be amazed at how far they had grown. Like their brains just exploded with who they were and new knowledge and those things. And it's like, man, that's so cool to see that. Well, what I did today with this is I went, as I was at the restaurant, I was looking for what's something I haven't experienced, what's a new experience, something that I can grow with, and then I found this popcorn on the cob, and I'm like, I don't even know where popcorn comes from. So I'm going to post when I post this video, I'm going to post a link to kind of I forgot the name, the manufacturing, how they did that or whatever, on popcorn, so you could actually watch it if you wanted to as a follow-up. But I was like, that is really cool, and I've never seen the kernels still on the corn, so to be able to pop that in a bag and pop it was really neat, because it gave me a whole new perspective about popcorn. I've eaten popcorn for years, and to be honest with you, I didn't know the difference between popcorn and a Dorito. I'm assuming there's a lot of difference in them, but I know God ordained both and loves both for sure. So to me, that was one of the coolest things. Okay, so you can do that. Is your homeschool big or is it small? When you go to the grocery store, do you look at it as, I'm not just going to the grocery store to pick up something, I'm going to the grocery store and we're going to make this an adventure, because the key ingredient to growth and development is exposure to new ideas and new things. So we're not just homeschooling isn't just in the box doing our textbooks. Homeschooling is embracing life and new learning so much about us. Like when we go to a grocery store, having your kids actually do the shopping, having them develop the shopping list, having them push the cart around and find the items. It may require some patience. It may not be easy. You don't have to start with a full shopping list. But what about that experience? I know giving my kids my debit card the first time and having them actually check something out and having to go through that process develops them. We send them in to order food oftentimes. And when you go, you haven't lived until you've gone into a fast food restaurant and ordered food for 11 people. My older kids, I'm not sure that they forgive me completely for it, but when you walk in and you say, I'll take 23 double cheeseburgers, 11 fries, 11 soft drinks, and the whole place, shuts down, it's an experience. Anyways, there are so many things that we can do to make homeschooling big, and to embrace the fact that you are the leader of new adventures for your students. So when we just do, we're just homeschoolers. I'm just a homeschool mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom. We're exposing our kids to so much. Think about it. When you go on vacation and you have all these new experiences, you grow as a person. When you meet new people, or you go to dinner someplace that you haven't gone before, or maybe you go to a museum, or just have different connections with different people, you grow as a person. Well, we do that with our kids. Homeschooling outside the box is not just the curriculum we use. It's a mindset. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life that says everything we're doing is connecting us, and we're teaching our students something different than just what's in a book. Now, when you go to school, right, if you go to a government school, you're going to sit in that classroom all day, and maybe they have posters, but you're going to see the same 24 faces with you being schooled, and the same teachers, maybe a little variety depending on the school. Maybe they change their posters, or they change the calendar, right? So there's a pumpkin on October, and there's a turkey at November, and there's a Christmas gift on December. That's the extent of what they're getting. They're getting some outside ideas and that, but not like we can give them as homeschoolers. We can take the mundane and actually make it very big. And sometimes people love to show and talk about things. So sometimes you can even, as you go someplace, you could even ask for behind the scenes looks. if you know other people that are involved in things, like if you know somebody who's a volunteer fireman, absolutely, you could ask them, could we get a tour of the fire trucks and the firehouse and see that? I think about little things too, like just taking this popcorn, popping it, and even getting the understanding, like how amazing, talk about fearfully and wonderfully made, how amazing is this popcorn? Right, that like the Lord takes and he puts the food here with a little drop of water that gives just enough water to help the embryo grow. I mean, that's insane that God would think of that. And then we heat that up and poof, and it converts the starch into the popcorn that we eat. I just think that that's the most awesome thing. So we can even teach, listen, and then let me ask you, as far as evolution goes, right? There's a concept called irreducible complexity. So in order to have evolution, I say millions of years, something had to evolve. Like one cell became another cell that became another cell. How do you have any part of this without having all of it? Like the intent the designer had when he created popcorn, how do you not engineer this as a whole? Right? What part can we remove that we had, do we just have an embryo? Well, how does an embryo grow if it doesn't have food and nutrients? I mean, there's so many things that we can begin to teach our children, from something as simple as just seeing popcorn and saying, hey, let's go on an adventure today. And it doesn't have to be big, but if you just saw that and you weren't aware of popcorn, don't you feel like you grew a little bit? Like your world just broadened a little bit? Because I didn't know that there were 6 different types of corn. I didn't know where popcorn came from at all. So it's really interesting. And I didn't know that if you plant popcorn with sweet corn, that your popcorn crop could be ruined because of the cross-pollination issues. Like, that's really interesting that God has designed things that tightly. So my encouragement today is, when you look at your homeschool, think big. Start to look at it in a bigger concept. Start to look at it more from the idea of we can find so much more even in the mundane. Now, you can also schedule some other things. I know the biggest memories I have of school, I went to a private school. I went to public school, then a private school for high school. But they would do weekly field trips. And we would go to like gas companies and power companies. We would go to manufacturing places. We just got to see so many things like that. And that not only helped expand my world, but it also kind of helped shape my careers. Like, I just had exposure to things that I would never have gotten on my own. Like, how do you ever get invited into a natural gas or a propane? No, it was a natural gas. It was because it ran off from the Tennessee pipeline. So it was a natural gas, and they showed how they added in the scent, because natural gas has no odor, and so they added in the scent so that if there was a leak, people could smell it, that was something that they did. They showed how they pressurized, how they maintained it, how the whole pipeline worked. It was really educational. Those are the things you can do. Like, those are easier things to do than we think. And this last weekend we went in a cave. We were with another family and we went into a huge cave. And we just learned a lot from that walk through the cave. And we had a guide, and he explained all the different things, the stalactites, stalagmites, the bats, the explorers, all the different ways that the outlets to the cave, all of these things. And it was just very educational. It was outside the bounds. It almost felt like entertainment. It didn't feel like education, but it was very educational. And that's the way that we can make our homeschooling bigger. And we don't have to accept the roles that make us feel small. Like, I'm not a homeschool mom or a stay-at-home wife, but bear with me for a moment. You don't have to accept a small role. Like, I am the educator of my children, right? Like the Proverbs 31 wife, if you've never read the Proverbs 31 wife, read Proverbs 31. she kicks it. Like, she makes things happen. It's not this thing of perfection. It's just somebody who's embracing life. If that's what just a stay-at-home mom is, like, I often wonder when I read Proverbs 31, what does the husband have left to do? Like, and it's not because he's, this is, to me, this woman is out there in industry. She's managing her home. She's bargaining. She's like not afraid to do life. And I think that's sometimes I've heard Proverbs 31 woman almost in a demeaning way or a submissive way. And I just feel, man, when you read that, you're like, this woman she's out there, right? And so for me, that's what I see. I see the lifestyle that we have with homeschooling and how it opens the world up so that when your students graduate, like this has happened with our kids, the 5 that we've graduated, they have so much more exposure. When we order pizza, I make them pick up the phone and they have to call and order the pizza. And then I send them in to go and pick up the pizza and pay for the pizza. Now, they've done it with me. When they're young, they do it with me. But I want them to have that exposure of having to talk to somebody on the phone because that's intimidating. I want them to have to walk in and say what their name is and have interaction. When we go to the checkout line, something I work hard to do is to connect with people. So sometimes I'll say, oh, I like your name. Like there was a cashier whose name was Lakota. And to say, Lakota, that's a different name. But people would remember that name and what was the history of your name. And I did that with my sons because I want them to see that. And I remember Brittany and I would go and travel together and I loved listening to her walk in and she would connect with the cashier. She'd say, oh, your earrings look so pretty. And automatically she made that person feel valued and then that person would explain. And there were relationships, like they weren't deep relationships, but like she was growing and doing that. And I just think that giving them that kind of exposure and teaching them, one of the most important things we can teach our kids is to esteem others as greater than ourselves. So when you meet a cashier, that cashier is not a servant. That cashier is blessing us by helping us process our purchase. And seeing that cashier as a person and recognizing that person has things that they love and things that they hate and things that they, that they look forward to outside of the job that they have. And they want to be seen. They want to be valued as a person. And teaching our kids that concept of esteeming others is better than ourselves. Those people skills are huge. Teaching them how to say thank you. I appreciate what you did for me today. Or just blessing people in some way, teaching our kids that. Like, that is real world homeschooling. That's teaching them and preparing them to be exceptional in life. When we give them a book, we're giving them knowledge, right? When they can apply that, when they can touch the real world with that knowledge and application, that's where the rubber meets the road. And I just feel like sometimes I see people getting small, like homeschooling is me in the perfect kitchen, at the kitchen table with the kids, or my shot, but it's not. Homeschoolers Who Get It is a campaign that Masterbooks is doing, #homeschoolers that get it. And what we're doing is we just want you to take pictures of your kids homeschooling in other places. If you go to the doctor's office, like how much do you learn having to walk into a hospital? I had a job where I had to walk from the roof of the hospital to the basement of the hospital. We were in every single room of the hospital because we worked with the TV systems. I learned so much in that job about the way hospitals run and the people and the administration parts and all of those things. Like there was so much to be learned in that. And that's an entire, what'd you call it, like a microcosm there, right? So in that place that you walk into a hospital, to be aware of where you are, not to just be tunnel visioned, but to be aware this is the admissions, this is where people check into the hospital. That's the help desk or the main desk, and that's where you go to say, I'm looking for patient so and so, and they tell you what floor, what room to go to. There are service elevators where the nurses take patients and supplies up and down. That's different from patient elevators. Catholic hospitals don't have floor 13 because they thought it was unlucky. So most Catholic hospitals skip floor 13 on the elevators and in their charts. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can learn from just something like that. And so I think just an encouragement today to go big, biggie it up, right? Supersize your homeschool. Be a hashtag homeschoolers who get it. And if you do, snap a picture and send it or post it so that we can see how you're getting it outside of four walls and how you're exposing your kids to so much more. And I think it's just something it's fun. It's the lifestyle, not just books. Homeschooling is so much more than books. Books are a big part of homeschooling, yes, because it's one of the tools we use. But homeschooling is not the only thing that we do. We have the ability to educate our children so much more richly, give them so many more experiences, and introduce them to new ideas than they'll ever get in the confines of a government school classroom. All right. Hey, well, hopefully that was helpful. I'm going to pick somebody. Actually, somebody was picked through the system for 2,500 reward points. Today, it is Julia Matson. I believe Julia is watching because she would have had to post. So Julia Matson, if you're watching, we'll be adding 2,500 reward points to your account. If you don't know about reward points, when you go to the website, if you log in and you make a purchase, you get 5% of reward points for every dollar spent. And then when you come back to buy again, you can use those towards your orders. So we've seen some people over the years really accumulate a fair amount of reward points and be able to save money on flash sales and stuff like that. So very exciting. Today, if you saw the email, did anybody see the email on the new Masterbooks Academy, which was sign language, went up? That is so cool. And so that's live. Another one that's live that I'm excited about is Jessica McCullough, who is the author of Where Faith Grows, did a course where they read the dialogue in the book, right? Sometimes with first graders, that course is designed for early elementary, first grade, and sometimes having to sit and read and all of that can be a little daunting, right? Especially if you have a lot of kids. Well, in the Academy is a new course that just went up today for Where Faith Grows, and it has all of the dialogue with her kids actually did the reading, and it's awesome and fun. And then she also reads the books that are there. So there are bonus books that are part of the course, and she actually reads the books in terms of pages. So like it takes the whole burden of having to read out loud and makes it so it's all in the Academy course. So if you do Where Faith Grows, I would highly recommend that. Yeah. Some said I had a blast listening to the recording bloopers. That was fun. And if you haven't seen it today, she posted kind of an infomercial for the course, and I think that's a ball to watch as well. So it's a really fun course. I got demos today actually on the Spanish. Oh my goodness, when that Spanish comes out, there's nothing like it. It's a very immersive Spanish course. And by the end of it, I was actually like, I don't know that I could speak sentences in 2 videos, but I certainly got some really good, like I could pull words and I could understand certain words now if I was seeing it or hearing it. I can relate it to the pictures that she showed. The way she did it's really cool. So that's coming. I'm excited about that. So yeah, new photography course up. I mean, there's just a lot of fun stuff going on in the Academy. And the paleontology, we were missing some books on paleontology because of the shipping issues and all of that's going on, but all of those are in stock now. So we have elementary paleontology is back, and if you're interested in dinosaurs, that's the course for sure to take. I think it's a foundational course for every student to take a course on dinosaurs. I really do. One of the reasons is because dinosaurs are used as evidence for evolution in prehistoric times. And this course refutes that and explains the biblical authority and the science that supports a biblical model of creation and a biblical timetable. But Brian Young does an academy course that is so much fun. In the academy, he has roaring dinosaurs, and I mean, he just knocked that out of the park. So highly recommend that course for upper elementary science. Is a fantastic course to do. So, all right, I'm done. Short teaching tip. I hope that was fun and helpful. And I got to go clean up the mess I made in the break room. But Julia, I will be making sure that the reward points get added to your account. Congratulations on that. Everybody who's here, sure do appreciate your time and the support that you give and being part of this community. This is our favorite place to be. You guys are so much fun to be around, and it's fun to watch this community grow. And it's funny, I'll just sidebar. Kristen participated in the Homeschool Summit, and it was fun to watch somebody post a screenshot of her and how proud they were of her representing the moms and masterbooks. And it was like, I love the fact that this is a masterbooks family. It is a tribe that we are privileged to be a part of, and what an honor it is to serve. And that's how Kristen and I and the staff here are viewed, as part of your family and part of the Masterbooks family. So thank you for allowing us that privilege. Hey guys, you have a fantastic weekend, and if you think about it, you could make some popcorn. Look out for the video that I did, and I will add in the audio, the YouTube clip on how popcorn is made. A little different than what I saw with this popcorn, but it'll still give you some good ideas. All right, guys. God bless y'all. We'll talk to you later.